All right, listener, you have heard the hype, seen the headlines, maybe even chatted with one yourself. Everyone's talking about large language models or LLMs, but let's be brutally honest. Most people have no idea what they actually are beyond smart AI that just writes stuff. Today, we are cutting through the bullshit to give you the real no fluff explanation. What are these things? Let's dive in. So, at its core, an LLM is a super sophisticated computer program that's an absolute wizard at understanding, generating, working with human like text. Think of it like a highly advanced autocomplete on a thousand expressos or an AI brain specifically designed for language, but without the actual brain part. Don't let that fool you into thinking that it's magic though. To truly get past the buzzwords, let's dissect this fancy acronym. Because if you understand what large language and model really mean, you are already ahead of 90% of the internet experts. Trust me. First up, large. When I say large, I'm not talking about your uncle's large soda. I'm talking devote the entire internet for breakfast large. LLMs are trained on enormous, frankly obscene amount of text data from literally everywhere: web pages, books, articles, social media, conversations, even programming code. We are talking about terabytes and petabytes of information. Isn't just a vast exposure, it's a digital firehouse of linguistic knowledge. Can you even imagine that much text? And two, large also refers to internal complexity. These models have billions or even trillions of internal settings, what scientists dryly call parameters. Think of these as countless tiny knobs that models constantly adjust during its training to learn unbelievably complex patterns and relationships within all that language data. More parameters generally mean more capable and nuanced and frankly more expensive to run model. Next thing is language. This might seem straightforward, but it's broader than you think. US, they specialize in human languages like English, Spanish, Hindi, Odia. But to an LLM, language also means programming languages, mathematical expressions, or really any structured sequence of symbols it can find patterns in. If it has rules, context, an LLM treats it as a language. Finally, the last part of the LLM, which is the model. In this context, a model is just a fancy tech word for really complicated math machines. Specifically, most powerful LLMs are built using a type of artificial neural network, deep learning architectures like famous transformers. This complex mathematical structure is what allows them to learn from all that data, identify intricate patterns, and ultimately make predictions. You don't need to be rocket scientist to grasp the basics though. So you type something into ChatGPT, hit enter, magic happens, right? Wrong. Let's peel back curtain on that magic. It's actually just very clever statistics, pattern matching, not genuine thought. Here's the simplified, brutally honest version. When you give an LLM a prompt, your question, instruction, or starting text, it first breaks it down into numerical representations. Then, based on billions of patterns and relationships it learned during its extensive training, it calculates the most probable next word or token, what we say, to follow your input. And then it calculates the most probable token after that, and so on. It builds up a response step by step, token by token, until it determines the response is complete. At its core, it's the world's most sophisticated next word predictor that leverages vast context to generate coherent and relevant text. Does that blow your mind a little? It should. It's simple yet incredibly powerful. All right, enough of that tech deep dive. Now, for the fun part, what can these LLMs actually do? Because of their sheer scale of training, they can perform an incredible, sometimes unsettling range of language related tasks. They can answer questions from simple factual queries to complex open ended discussions, sometimes even better than your know it all cousin. You know what I'm talking about. They can generate text, and I mean anything: essays, stories, poems, email, marketing copy, even scripts like coding. They are fantastic at summarizing long articles or documents into shorter, digestible versions. Super handy for avoiding actually reading. LLMs can translate languages, helping you bridge communication gaps within a phrase book. Need help with brainstorming ideas? They are surprisingly good digital collaborators for creative thinking or problem solving. They can rewrite or paraphrase existing text in different styles or tones, from academic to sassy. And yes, they can even write code snippets in various programming languages. They are basically stealing dev jobs one line at a time. So, what's your favorite LLM trick so far? Drop it in the comment section below. Okay, time for the cold hard truth. Because while LLMs are genuinely revolutionary, they are deeply flawed. Ignoring that is just plain naive. You need to understand these critical limitations. First, this is probably the most crucial takeaway. LLMs are sophisticated pattern matchers, not thinkers. They do not understand or think in the human sense. They predict most statistically likely output based on their training data. That's why you might have noticed that sometimes they just give you an answer which is very much stale. That's because they were trained in the earlier data rather than the recent data. So they don't have the knowledge of the recent data and they give the answers based on that. So it's basically they don't have consciousness, genuine comprehension, or feelings. Anyone who tells you otherwise is either mistaken or trying to sell you something. Get that distinction crystal clear. Second, and this is where it gets dangerous: hallucinations. Sometimes LLM will confidently generate information that sounds incredibly plausible but factually incorrect and completely nonsensical. Think of it as a super smart liar who believes its own lies. Always, always, always fact check against anything important. Seriously, do not trust them blindly. Now, third, LLMs learn from human generated data. And guess what? Human data is full of biases. So LLMs can inadvertently pick up, sorry. So LLMs can inadvertently pick up and perpetuate these biases, leading to outputs that might be unfair, stereotypical, or even discriminatory. They are a mirror to the internet, and internet is not always pretty. We are still figuring out how to fix this, but for now, it's there and you should be aware. So, final warning: think of LLMs as powerful tools, not know all oracles, right? Their output should be always reviewed, verified, and used responsibly. They are here to assist, to augment, to brainstorm, but never ever outsource your critical thinking. Your human brain is still the ultimate LLM override. Look, despite my brutally honest take on their flaws, large language models are genuinely revolutionary. They have changed the game for how we interact with information and create content. They are incredible technical achievements capable of amazing feats. As long as we understand their strengths and, crucially, their real limitation, I think we should be all good. Now, a small hands-on example of how we can interact with the LLMs. So you might be already aware of web UI based interactions like ChatGPT or Pen AI or anything like Gemini or anything like that, right? So I will not be showing you anything about that. Rather, I will show you a Python code based approach of how we can integrate uh, a particular uh, interaction with an LLM to our applications. Just take simple call to get started with, and let me know if this helps for you in the comment section. So as you can see in here, what we have done in here is we just imported the OS and we loaded the environment variables in here. We have them stored in the env file. We have the Gemini API key and the Gemini model. So I have used Gemini 2.5, which is the free version, and has a free tag basically, so you can use that for this purpose as well. And then a simple error handling, and we are using the Google dot generative AI as the library, SDK library, and there we are trying to make a call with using model dot generate content, and we are just passing the prompt here, and then we get response, and we are just returning the response.txt. So it's a very simple code, and I'm gonna post this code into the GitHub. I will post the GitHub link as well. You can go through the code, play with it like you want. You can paste any queries you have about this. So basically, what we asked about is explain what a large language model is in one paragraph. So you can see here, right? That's what the prompt is. Explain what a large language model is in one paragraph. And then the response from the Gemini model came. A large language model is an advanced artificial intelligence program designed to understand, generate, and process human language trained on massive data sets of text and code. And these models learn complex patterns, grammar, facts, writing styles. These extensive training enables them to predict the most probable next word or sequence of word in the response in a given format. The large aspect refers to both immense volume of data they process and a vast number of internal parameters they contain, allowing them to perform a wide range of tasks from answering questions and summarizing text to translating languages and writing creative content, engaging in sophisticated conversational dialogue. This is exactly what we talked about, right? So, if an LLM itself agrees with what we just discussed, awesome. So, I will leave this code with in my GitHub for you to check it out, and you can get started and play around, and let me know in the comment section how you feel about it. I hope this brutal explanation helped demystify LLMs for you. If you appreciate this no bullshit approach, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more real talk about tech, and let me know in the comments what you or your honest take on LLMs is. Game changers or glorified text generators? I want to hear your unfiltered thoughts. Thanks for enduring my brutal honesty, and I will catch you in the next one.